$5 in anyway. Hope you all enjoyed the run, and good luck, Ozmourn, with Viewfinder. Alright, and with that, I think we're ready for Ozmourn to take it away with Viewfinder any percent.
Alright. Hello everyone, my name is Ozmourn. You caught me here in my humble hideout. Right over here. It's as beautiful and as organized as you probably imagined it to be. And this is actually the end of the game, so there's a bit of a spoiler for what's to come for the rest of this run. It is Viewfinder. Viewfinder any percent. And I'm really, really happy that y'all wanted to see this game so much that you donated to make it happen. I'm so happy. I love this game a lot. It's a new game that came out in July of this year. The latest first-person puzzle... Actually, no, I can't say the latest one because the Talos Principle 2 came out like a week ago. It is the second latest first-person puzzle platformer that has been all the rage during the summer. And it's gained a lot of traction, has a really nice community behind it, a lot of really talented runners and people who have dedicated resources and moderation time towards the community. And so if you're interested in this kind of genre of game, I highly recommend this one. I think it's a really beginner friendly run. It's not too glitch heavy, and a lot of things, like this is a speedrun that I would say that if you really wanted to, you could learn like a day and start doing runs. And so I highly recommend checking it out. But with that being said, we're just going to start new game, and timer is going to begin once we get into the first level and we load in there. And there's a lot of stuff to explain and not a lot of time to explain it, but I'll do my best. So that being said, timing will begin in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. There again, a first-person puzzle platformer with a wonderful shtick. And what is that shtick? It is every image that you see, every photo, you can turn into a real object. You can turn into tangible things like that. Anything that is a photo, you can physically paste into the environment. Anything in the photo becomes real. For example, you saw up there was a battery in that photo, and we tilted the photo sideways so that the battery will just fall immediately down. That's actually a mechanic you're going to be seeing a lot throughout the run, including right here, and I'm going to be angling this a little bit this way so that this battery can just fall onto the sensor, and immediately we can use teleport to exit the level. At the end of every level, you're going to be seeing me go into this hub world where my powers don't work, and so you can't rewind or anything like that. You can't use photos, but what you can do is go from one level to the next, and each level has a bit of a newer mechanic that's going to be introduced. As you can see right there, we did a nice skip by using that bridge to skip the majority of the level right there by tilting it upwards. Every time that you see me put down an image, you're going to see me jump while I do it, because the game slows you down when you start to paste an image, when you hold up an image to paste it. We're going to place these batteries right here. And before we get into this level proper, what we're going to be doing is we're going to take this image and we're going to paste into the environment 4 times. Because once that happens, the simulation breaks, because surprise, we're in a simulation. Because why wouldn't we be? And so we're going to do the classic IT solution of turning the simulation off and then turning it back on again. So this is behind those glass walls is the character that's been talking to us, Jesse. I have voices turned off, but Jesse has been talking to us this whole time. Let's see how fast we can do this. Okay. A little slow. Mess up at the end there, but perfectly fine. Still pretty fast. Jesse's behind those glass walls. As you can see here, simulation trying to find a specific experiment that was being handled by a scientist that worked in the simulation. This game has a very unique backstory, stuff that we won't get into today, but I highly recommend checking it out because it's really nice. It has a really nice story to it as well. And so now that we rebooted the simulation, we're going to do this level proper, and twice. And boom. That's pretty much it. That gives us enough distance to get to the end of the level and enter the teleporter. So, right here in this level, there's not a lot to, like a huge speed tech in this level, but it is just the devs kind of flexing because as you can see, an image doesn't have to be like photorealistic to be pasted into the environment. You can paste all sorts of images, like that painting, that drawing at the beginning, this like child's drawing cartoon here, this literal child's drawing right here, and finally a pixelated castle. So that's something that you're seeing a lot throughout the run as well, like little gimmicks like that as well. And then we're going to take this image and interact with this teleport to leave the level and go back to the hub. We're going to do some cheeky movement here to get over to the final level of World 1, where we're going to take this photo, and the game introduces the new mechanic, photocopiers. And they do exactly what you think they do. They just copy images, and they only copy images to a certain amount. But as you can see here, we can use that charger required 2 batteries on it to activate the portal or teleporter. So that's what we did. And so right here, the intended solution is to go up these stairs over here and like orient the image in a specific way so that the teleporter will be at the top of the stairs. But instead we just did that where we turned the image completely upside down and managed to get to the teleporter right at the end there, right at the beginning, by just falling towards it. And so now that's the end, World 1. We're going to go into this tram to get to World 2. And right here is Kate. Kate is a cat, and he is an artificial intelligence that only exists within the world of the simulation. He was created by a scientist. So he will be talking to us throughout the run. I don't have his voice turned on, but he is talking to us, I promise. And right here, what we're going to be doing is something known as tram skip. I don't know, I think I might not be getting it. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to clip out of this tram and try to wait out. Okay. Oh wait, it worked. It worked, but not fast enough. Okay, so during the tram in that tube, it's kind of like a loading screen that happens. If you manage to clip out of the tram before that loading ends, once you load into the second world, or the world that you're going to, you can just immediately get spawned into like a specific part of the map that the game will spawn you in if you wait out, instead of having to finish the tram ride. So you got an idea of what tram skip looks like. I didn't really do it the fastest way possible, but we do have 2 more attempts to do it when we move from World 3 into World 4. And in this level, it's just like illusions. If you played the game Superliminal, you can see that you look at the image the specific way, it turns into like a real object. And so very similar to that game and its mechanics in this level. Right here, you want to get rid of that wall on the left entirely when you paste an image, otherwise this lineup won't work. You're going to create that image, and then you're going to line up to make this image real, like so. And that's the end of that puzzle. This next puzzle is really interesting in its movement because, and it's also technically a new mechanic known as the RGB lights, where there's green, red, and blue. And we're going to turn all of those on right now, and we're going to use this card to go through this wall, cut through that wall, and turn on the final lever, and line ourselves up so that the lights turn into a real image. Perfect. So now we're going to go into the next puzzle of World 2, where we're once again going to get introduced to another interesting mechanic known as the standing cameras. But first, before we do that, we got to do a nice skip here. Let's try that again. Perfect. Second try. And the standing cameras will take pictures of the teleporters and allow us to just turn the image and exit the level like that. As you can see, you don't need to use the original teleporter of the game. You just need to use a teleporter. So you can take an image of the teleporter and it'll still work. We're going to take 2 pictures, use them as platforms. And this battery, we're going to hurl over and take a picture of it in midair. Take the picture of that battery. Ooh, is that enough? Will that work? It does work. Okay, wow. If you, like, take a picture of only half the battery, it's going to get cut off, and then you turn it into a real object, it won't work. Enough of the battery needs to be, like, present in order for it to work on the charger. We're going to take a picture of the standing camera with another standing camera that'll take a picture of the portal, so we can turn it upside down, or turn it right side up, and then exit. So, and the reason you have to do that is because, like, all the portals have to be upright in order for you to exit the level. You can't use one that's sideways or upside down. So this is the last level of World 2. And we're going to be taking this battery right here, taking it off, and using that same platform to catch this battery. Perfect. And another small trick right here is just juggling these batteries back and forth. Ideally, you want to use one battery to push the other right to where it needs to go. We did it a little bit there. Not the cleanest, but still pretty good. A nice jump here. We're going to take a picture of this charging pad, and it has the teleporter in the background. We're going to put it right here, make this battery real, put it onto this charger, and then take a picture of it with the standing camera. And then tilt this to the left so that the battery falls on that charger, and we can exit the level. So that is the end of World 2. We're going to try and do tram skip again. This one's a little bit easier because you want to essentially walk forward into the corner of this tram at a specific time, mainly when that pillar falls. Okay, that pillar passes by, and then boom. So as you can see, we're out here. The tram is going to go into the loading zone, and we're going to be voiding out, and then loads into World 3, and then we're going to void into World 3 at a specific spawn point that is closer to the teleporter. Alright, and now we're at World 3. This specific level has a nice skip at the end. We're going to first do some pretty basic movement here while we turn on these RGB lights. And as you can see, tram skip has weird effects because the tram is here, and it should not be. It's just floating there. This is the only level we really see it in. Even if you perform tram skip from World 3 to World 4, we don't really see it there, but this is the only level that you really see it in. We're going to make those RGB lights turn into a real bridge. And at the end of this level, we're going to be introduced to another mechanic known as the camera. And typically, especially in earlier patches of this game, you would have to wait for a whole cutscene to play out before you can use the camera. But instead, we're going to grab the camera, rewind, and grab the camera again, and boom, the cutscene is skipped. Not really, but like you can just use the camera while you're in the cutscene, and so you don't have to wait for it to end. So technically, we did skip it, but not like literally skip to the end of it. And so World 3 is hard because there's a lot to do, but that's also like why it's because like it's one of the more satisfying ones to do really well because of how much there is to do. That specific skip right there is a really good example of that, where like you take a picture of a wall really close up, and then you can clip through it if you fall down. And right here, we're going to take a picture of this image. I take a picture of that teleporter, tilt it downwards so we can fall towards it and exit the level. We're going to take a picture of these stairs and use them as stairs up here. Pretty simple solution right here. And we're going to take a picture of this teleporter up here and then fall down. And then this puzzle has an interesting solution where we are going to take a picture of the teleporter and the charging pad together, place it right here so that the battery falls onto the charging pad, and then take a picture of the battery and make that battery fall into the charging pad again. So most of what we did right there, with the exception of like the first and last puzzle, is like even the intended solution, and even the intended solution looks really cool in this game. And so that's another reason why I highly recommend checking it out, because even the basic movements and intended solutions of this game are really, really fun to do in a speedrun. We're going to take a picture of that arch, and we're going to essentially get rid of this entire wall so we can immediately get more film for our camera, and take a picture of the teleporter, turn it upright, and then leave the level. Take a picture of this battery on the other side. We're going to use this entire platform as a bridge, so now we have two batteries. And we're going to be carefully juggling these guys. Ooh, nope, come on. Mess this up in practice too. There we go. Perfect. A little bit better. And here's another instance where we're going to have to juggle some batteries. These ones can be a little uncooperative sometimes. We're going to take a picture of the charger, the teleporter, and the battery all in one fell swoop. And then we're going to use this battery right here and this battery right here to charge the charging pad. I'm going to be very careful with these guys because typically when I'm not, they tend to fall off the edge because I'm just being reckless with them. Alright, this next puzzle is interesting. We're going to take a picture of the lever that turns on the teleporter and the teleporter as well. And you can see there's an entire connection right here between them that needs to remain intact if it's going to work. And we're going to do the same thing here, pulling the lever, turning the teleporter on, and taking a picture with it and turning it upright. And again, this entire connection between the teleporter and the lever needs to remain intact for the teleporter to stay on. We're going to take a picture of the teleport. We're going to pull the lever as we're falling and take a picture of the teleporter and the lever as we're falling, and then activate it like that. And do the same thing here. Oh, wait. Pull the lever as we're falling. That was meant to look a bit cooler, because we were meant to keep falling as we pulled it, but just pretend that happened. And then fall towards the teleporter and then exit the level. Same thing that we did with the level beforehand. In this level, we're introduced to another mechanic known as like the timer. And so we're going to stand on this pad. It'll start that timer. And even though the connection between the timer and the pad is disconnected, the timer will keep a connection between itself and the teleporter for as long as the timer will last. As you can see, each timer has like a different amount of time it'll stay on for, and you just have to get to the teleporter before the timer ends. So as you can see, we can disconnect the charging pad and the timer, so long as the timer and the teleporter aren't disconnected. And right here, we're going to do an interesting one. We're going to fall as we take a picture of the timer and the teleporter, and then use it as a platform to get to the end. And same thing here, where we're going to take a picture of the timer and the teleporter, and then fall and look down to land here on the teleporter, and then exit the level. This next level is mainly an illusion-based level. There's not a lot of cool mechanics to it, or cool tricks, I would say. Just some mind-boggling level. And so if Michael wants to say anything right now, it's a pretty good time.
Just as a reminder, we are still running a bid war for Ozmourn's upcoming Skater Gator 3D run. Currently, Chonky Boy is still in the lead, but Green Jammin, Gilded Gary, Gectoplasm, and Tori could easily catch up. Personally, Tori's a bird. I would very much prefer to see that one. So let's make Skater Gator 3D into Skater Bird 3D, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that works. And right here in this last level of World 3, we're actually going to do a really cool trick. We're going to rewind. As you can see, when you walk... Oh, it worked. Okay, wow. That was a lot quicker than I thought it would be. So essentially, when you walk towards that battery and turn into like a painting on a pillar, if you rewind and you stop your rewind at the same time that the battery turns back into a physical object, you can walk towards the battery again and it won't turn back into a painting. It feels frame perfect, it's very precise, but thankfully we were able to get it like the third or fourth try. So we're going to try tram skip again, and will it work this time? This one's like the most finicky. I think I did this one the least amount. Come on! Nope. Okay. So there is a backup, and that is just exiting from the menu and restarting, because it sets you back to whatever like the next save point was. For some reason, we start up there instead. It's not too much of a time loss, but it is a nice backup. We're getting introduced to another new mechanic here in World 4. It is all of this purple and bluish colored architecture. Anything that is... come on. There we go, perfect. I did not want to rewind. Right here, we're going to be doing a glitch known as chair infinite jump. You're going to see me look down as I jump up here, and then I'm going to try and sit and rewind at the same time. It's going to rewind the exact movements that I just did, and the moment I look down, we're going to stop the rewind, exit the chair that I'm sitting in, and it's going to teleport me back to where I stopped the rewind. And then because of me exiting the chair, I was able to get an extra jump and land onto that platform where I got the image and continue the rest of the level. This particular level has an interesting mechanic here, or interesting skip. I am going to restart that because I accidentally pushed the mug. And so it has to do with this mug right here and abusing the physics of this game. We're going to line ourselves up right here, and then as soon as we interact with the mug, as soon as the mug falls down, we are going to jump, because the physics in this game are really wonky, and if you jump while you're like interacting with an object, it'll sometimes launch you up in the air like that. Third try. Beautiful. And then we're going to take a picture of this last platform. Boom. Perfect. And then exit the level. A mechanic that I glossed over because I was busy explaining the chair infinite jump was the fact that this level has like purple and bluish architecture, which means like anything that is tinted in this purple color will not appear in your camera. And so, come on. And so we can use that to our advantage. For example, right here, the battery is just going to fall through and land on the charger immediately. And also, you can see that when you paste an image into the environment, anything that's purple will not disappear. And so those are two. Let's try that again. Come on. Perfect. Anything that purple will not disappear. So you have to use that to your advantage in a lot of ways, which we do right now. For example, right here, we're going to have the charger or the battery land directly on the charger like that, and then finish the level. Perfect. And now we're going to do a bit of cheeky movement here. Nice skip to avoid a stair climb. And now we're introduced to another mechanic known as boom boxes or music or sound, however you want to refer to it as, where there's a boom box behind this wall, and we're going to line it up so that the sound connects to those speakers. I'm going to take this picture again, right here, like so. And you want it to interact with these speakers so that it'll turn on the RGB lights and you can line up and create a picture. And these speakers, for example, this one that is on the lever, need to interact with these sensors that'll pick up the audio and then turn on the teleporter. Here's another one. We're going to turn on this speaker and then paste this sensor that is connected to another speaker, and we can essentially create a chain right here. It'll activate the last sensor right over there. As you can see, you can physically see like the range of the sound waves, so you know how far a sensor can be in order for it to be activated, like that. And now we're going to do a combination of mechanics right here. We're going to turn on this speaker. It'll barely get to the sensor, and then we're going to take a picture of the timer and the speaker it's connected to, and activate this sensor here at the end, and turn on that teleporter. And now we're going to be doing a nice skip here at this final level. We're going to turn that image before we photocopy it, because we're going to be given this image. We want this one to be upright, and this one to be sideways, so that we can line it up. Oh, this one's always difficult for me, so we can line it up like so. Perfect. And then we're going to activate. Okay, we're going to activate the sensor right here, and immediately exit the level by interacting with the portal. Because the moment that you step off of the pad and the speaker deactivates, the teleporter will just turn off. And so you have to be really quick with it. It's only a few milliseconds you have to spare. And here's another level where the game devs are just flexing, because it's just like going through a lot of filters like this and changing the environment. As you can see, like there's a wall here, and it will only disappear if you're on the same filter as the wall. So stuff like that. But aside from that, here's another good time if Michael wants to say anything to do so right now.
Yes, again, we are also still raising money to watch the turtle races in the upcoming Chained Echo run. We are at $60 of the $200 target, so let's keep those donations coming in.
Beautiful. We still have a bit, so if you want to say some more stuff, you can.
Alright, and again, we also have the upcoming Chained Echo Sky Armor color bid war as well. That will be a rolling bid war occurring during the run, so the color can change multiple times. The options are red, green, orange, blue, and purple, so donate for your favorite. And if you want to swing it in a different direction during the run, feel free to get more donations in then.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And then this last level, it might not seem like a lot, but it's actually a quite precise trick that's going on here. Okay, so typically the game wants you to go through that red filter, but we're going to go through this blue filter instead. We're going to activate this portal, and it'll turn on the teleporter at the end, right there. And the timer that's connected to that teleporter is so precise that it's just barely enough time to get to it by doing the movement that I just did right now and skipping using the red filter entirely. The reason that that's important is because the window for that is a lot smaller. If I had messed up that movement at all, I wouldn't have enough time to get to a teleporter before it deactivated. And like anyone in the community will let you know how really, really precise that movement is. We're going to turn on this weather machine. That's what this is. It's like cannon-like thing. It's a weather machine. And you have to look at it in order for this cutscene to start. A lot of people, including myself, have learned that the hard way in the middle of runs where we're just like losing time and we don't know why. It's because we're not looking at this. We're not looking at this weather machine. In order for it to deactivate, we have to look at it. And that's the end of World 4. And now we're going to go straight over to World 5. And believe it or not, we're actually not going to be doing tram skip this time. because of the fact that your spawn point when you void out versus the spawn point that you have when you like exit to main menu and then restart the game, they're actually two different spawn points. And so the spawn points that we're going to be doing when we exit to main menu and then restart, it's closer to the teleporter that'll lead us to the first level of World 1 or World 5. And so that's why we're just going to exit to main menu. As you can see, it leads us onto the second floor right here next to the teleporter. And the like the tram skip would have just put us on the first floor. So right here, we're going to get introduced to another mechanic. First and foremost, we're going to climb over here and jump over to this other side of the map. We're going to introduce to another cool mechanic known as taking a picture of yourself. And we're going to line ourselves up right here and give us a little bit of space between the camera and ourselves so that we can actually get captured. I'm going to face this direction. And as soon as the camera turns on, we can immediately, you see that black fuzzy thing in the camera, in the picture? That's us. And so whenever we paste an image with ourselves in it, we'll get teleported to wherever we paste it. And that's only really possible because these cameras are on timers. So you can see teleport into the cage, pull the lever. Oops, actually, I forgot to do one thing. Turn on the camera, teleport into the cage, pull the lever, grab this image, and then teleport back out. And one interesting thing about this mechanic is that when you take a picture, it'll also say whatever like orientation you're facing, and when you get teleported, you'll be teleported in facing that orientation. So right now we're facing right, and so when we get teleported, we're going to be facing right like this immediately to grab the battery. And we're going to be facing left like so, holding the battery, because you're going to get teleported right here. Ooh, is that enough of battery? It is. Good, wonderful. So there is a puzzle here. I don't know what it is, because instead we're just going to be doing that. Perfect. And then exiting the level. But there is a nice puzzle here, but we do a nice skip for it. Instead of doing the puzzle, we're going to be looking at this camera, and we're going to take a picture of ourselves twice. That's the first one. And this is the second one. Perfect. All right, face up and teleport upwards twice so that we have enough height to get to the teleporter there. And that's really quick movements that you have to do in order to make that work. So, we are now introduced to another mechanic in this next level known as the void camera, where everything you take a picture of just turns into a void, like so. It's a very jarring mechanic, and I got jump scared the first time that I saw it when I played this game casually. But it works like any other old camera. It's just like you can't take a picture of the same thing twice. So that leads us to some more interesting things so we can use as skips instead. We're going to take a picture of the teleporter right here behind this wall, take a photocopy of it, and then paste it right here, make a copy of it, and turn it upside down so that the battery falls, and we can use that on the charging pad. There's a wall behind this wall, and we're going to use this final wall to... Oh, actually I want that to be more upwards. There we go. We're going to use that final wall as a platform to grab this guy. Perfect. And then finish the level. Now here's the second to last level of the game, where we're going to do some interesting mechanics right here. We're going to take a picture of this standing camera, and then have it face towards that battery. We're going to activate the camera, and as soon as it takes a picture of the battery, we're going to take a picture of the battery too. And it should also have taken a picture of us so that we can exit this cage. And now, because we took a picture of the battery twice, boom. We have two batteries that'll charge this pad, and then charge the portal so we can exit the level. In this level, we're going to take a picture of this platform right here. Perfect. Activate that camera, and use that platform so we can get a lot of distance in this image. It'll take a picture of us from really far away, so when we get over here and activate this pad, it'll turn on that timer, and then boom, we're really close once we teleport, because as you can see, that timer is really fast. And so that was the intended solution, but it still looks really, really cool. And so now here is the final level of the game. It is on a timer and gives us 5 minutes, which is about 4 minutes too much. And so We're gonna take a picture of the ground, pull that lever, use the image that we just took as a bridge, look up, take a picture of this building for later, pull the lever, use this image as a platform, switch over to the camera, and at jump, take a picture of the platform we were just on, pull this lever, use the image that we just took as a way around the gate here. We're gonna take a picture of the boombox over here, switch to the camera once you pull the lever, and take a picture of the copy printer that's behind this wall, or the photocopier. And we're gonna take a picture of this battery, and then photocopy it because we need 2 batteries to activate this charging pad. Perfect, thank you. And thank you. As soon as we teleport back, switch back to the camera, and take a picture of this platform. Perfect. Pull this portal, or pull this lever, and turn on camera, take a picture, use the picture that we just took of the platform. There we go. And teleport with the picture that we just took. Pull the lever, switch to the building photo that we just took earlier in the run, earlier in the level, and then take the boombox. Come on. Boombox, there we go. Take the boombox image so that I can activate that, and then it'll activate the boombox will essentially activate a speaker or a sensor that'll teleport us to the final lever where we can just immediately pull the lever and then exit the final level. Then that's why we were like right there next to the battery and used the image of the building, because we want to be in a very specific orientation where we just jumped up and we were right where the lever needed to be. And so, yeah, that's the end of World 5, and pretty much the end of the game. There's a small cutscene here and a little bit more movement that we're going to have to do before timing officially ends. And unfortunately, we do have to say goodbye to Kate the cat, because we're about to go back into the real world, and unfortunately, Kate only exists in the simulation. So everyone say goodbye to Kate. He is crying, and he is disappearing and dissipating away from us. So, bye, Kate. Hashtag justice for Kate. But anyway, there's a little bit more movement. Time is going to come up in around 15 seconds. We're going to get to the end towards this tree over here. We're going to grab a plant, and then we're going to walk into the tree. There's a door that'll open in the tree, and as soon as we fade to black, that's when time is. So 3, 2, 1, time. Perfect. So yeah, that is a Viewfinder any percent. If you like what you saw, I highly recommend checking the community out. Go to our SRC page. Our Discord is linked there. We have really good resources as well. And we also have a 100% category. This game has collectibles if you want to do that. And this game is on PS5 if you're a console runner and you want to do that as well. And this is around $20-$25 on Steam, I think. It's currently only on Steam. I do believe there is plans in the future to get this game on other platforms, but currently all it is on Steam for PC and PS5 for consoles. And we do have leaderboard splits, so it's all fair for everyone as well. So yeah, that is Viewfinder any percent. Shouts to everyone in the community, all of the mods, Crazy, myself, Joshua, Brianato, our verifiers, Shovelclaws, and Archmage. The world record holder is Zuchable, who will be running this at AGDQ 2024. Bobby Burm, who ran this at GDQX at TwitchCon. And everyone else that has taken the time to show this off at events. The Masked Mango, any other people that I'm forgetting to name. I highly recommend checking the community out because they're absolutely amazing. And if you're wanting to get into this run, we'd be happy to help you. So yeah, that is Viewfinder any percent. If you're heading out for the night, you can check me out on twitch.tv/Ozmourn. I stream once in a blue moon, and I'm most active on Twitter. And I'm going to be running 2 games at AGDQ, including one of the games you're about to see me run after Shooter Regalia. Unfortunately, I'm not running this one, but Dutchable is, and I'll be on the couch for that. So I'm super excited to see this game reach a larger audience as well. So yeah, that is all from me for now. Go watch Killing Pepsi with Shooter Regalia. Jack's rom-coms, amazing. And I'll be right back with Skater Gator 3D after that run. So stay tuned.
Congrats. Good job.
Thank you.